Welcome back. You're watching Startup Street. Now, digital assets data platform Power Your Own Research, or PYOR, has raised $4 million in funding in a seed round led by Castle Island Ventures and others. The Data and Insights platform startup was founded by former CoinSwitch employees in 2022, and it plans to use this fresh capital to expand its team, core infrastructure and product platform. To talk to us about the company's plans ahead is Krishna Hegde, who is the co-founder of PYOR, and he'll also tell us about the growth plans for the company. Krishna, thanks very much for your time here on CNBC-TV18. You know, from CoinSwitch now to your new startup PYOR, tell us what you've set out to do with the company and, you know, what is the sort of market gap that you're looking to address with this platform?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me on the show. The four of us who were at CoinSwitch decided that we wanted to build something in the global B2B space because we saw a clear market gap based upon our experience in operating CoinSwitch. What we realized is that information availability in the digital asset space or in the crypto space is not very consistent. So because crypto started off as a retail first asset class, you don't have the same kind of deep data products available which other asset classes provide for institutional investors. And what we are trying to do with PYOR, that's how we pronounce it, is that we said, look, for global institutions who want to invest in digital assets, instead of them spending time in gathering data and verifying data, if we're able to give them a good source of high quality data, that'll enable them to spend their time doing analysis rather than data gathering. And in turn, this will help expand the institutional opportunity for digital assets, including crypto. So what we're building essentially is a data product. Think of it like a Bloomberg or a FactSet or a Capital IQ, what exists in traditional finance. We are doing a similar kind of an exercise for digital assets. That's the kind of core motivation for us in building PYOR.
Well, Krishna, that's very well explained. We look forward to it. But, tell us how you're exactly planning to deploy this $4 million that you've raised in the seed round. This is a largely untapped opportunity because we haven't heard of many data companies in the digital asset space. If you could put a number to it, what is the size of the opportunity as well?
So, the way we're looking at it right now is that digital assets is a very nascent asset class, right? So institutional investors have been investing in digital assets only for the last couple of years. Whereas if you look at other asset classes, like say credit or commodities, etc., you had institutional investors invest in them for multiple decades. Our expectation is that at this point of time, the number of global institutions which already invest in digital assets is probably a couple of hundred. But if you fast forward 5 years or 10 years, every institution which is a global financial institution will have an allocation into digital assets. Just like today, you cannot do asset allocation without having a commodities exposure, a fixed income exposure, and equity exposure. I expect in 5 years' time, every large institution and individuals also will think about a specific allocation to digital assets. And when that happens, we want them to come to PYOR as their go-to data source to be able to analyze and get data and make decisions on what to buy, what to hold, what to sell, etc.
Okay, but Krishna, besides the obvious clients, the institutional investors, the venture capitalists, who else are you going to target, and have you already tapped some of these customers?
Yes. So, the way we look at our customer segment, right, is right now it is between investors like venture capital funds and asset managers, as well as the protocols and the developers themselves. Because what we realize is that anybody who is developing a particular, new product in the digital asset space also is looking for good analytics and a source of truth. So we've got customers both on the protocol side or the decentralized application side, as well as with regard to funds on the sell side and buy side. Now going forward, we think that this is going to become much deeper, right? So we look at wealth advisors, for example. If you're an HNI and you got deployment right now in multiple asset classes, we expect that crypto and digital assets will be a portion of your investment portfolio. And for that, the wealth advisor would need a particular data source to be able to make the right decisions. And we expect the PYOR data set to be the data source which these advisors will use. So we're looking at the customer segment as being across the board. And again, all of this is going to start off being more US-centric to begin with. So it's not going to be India-focused at all. But over a period of time, I expect that we will be able to offer our services to multiple geographies.
Okay, Krishna, we have very little time left, so if you could quickly tell us about this product that you've launched in the beta version, Terminal, What exactly is it going to do? And, will there be other products in the pipeline now that you've secured your seed funding? What should we expect from the company in the next 5 to 7 years?
Sure. So the way we look at our first product, right, the terminal, is similar to a Bloomberg terminal. That's the reason we call it the terminal as a current working version. And the way it works is it gives you a full set of all digital assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. You're able to take a snapshot of it. You're able to look at multiple data sets, whether it is price action, whether it is what's happening with large investors, the activity of investors themselves, what's happening with usage, has the number of actual users changed over time. And the way we look at our responsibility is because we are catering to the institutional investor. The quality of data becomes super important, right? So what we are doing right now is we're running our own nodes for the different blockchains, getting data from the nodes, indexing them, cleaning them up. After cleaning, we offer it on our terminal product. So the idea is if you're looking at any data point on the terminal product, this is triple checked, verified, and you're able to click to source. So just like, for example, in traditional finance, right? What you want is not just the final number, but you also want the footnote. You want the details of how a particular number was arrived at.
Sure.
You want to make adjustments yourself, right? All of that will be possible through our terminal product, which is the initial product we are launching. What we realized in speaking to investors and potential customers is people don't want a single way to access data. It's not just a browser-based tables or charts. They want to be able to access it through APIs. The more technically savvy customers want to be able to write their own queries using SQL
Sure, Krishna.
and the data. So we're offering all of that in our subsequent products.
Krishna, we're unfortunately completely out of time. We'd love to hear more about the product. It's interesting, what you're building out there, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you for your time here on CNBC TV18. On that note, we're going to quickly wrap up this show. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching the show. But stay with CNBC TV18. Your news and updates will continue on the other side. It's a goodbye from Shruti and me.